Okay, guys, so I'm back at it with more League Racing F1 2021. And this is actually, I think, my first official in season F1 2021 League race that I've posted now. I mean, I think I've posted some just because for that league we sort of aggregate highlights and such, but in terms of actually posting for consumption, this is the first race that I posted for consumption, and it's a pretty good race. I'll tell you that right now. It's Bahrain. This sort of felt like a do-over for me because last season, so we're in the second season of this league currently that I actually created. And in the first season of the league, I got a wheel, a racing wheel, Logitech G29, about an hour before the race, and for some reason decided it would be a good idea to run that race with the new wheel, and it wasn't a good idea. It went very poorly. I think I got lapped twice in a 13 lap race or something like that. So that was pretty impressive. I think I pitted 4 or 5 times for new wings. It was just brutal. But I am significantly better now with the wheel than I was then. And for that reason, I was looking forward to this race as sort of a shot at redemption. And I'll let you see how it all plays out. But all in all, I think it was a decent race. Um, this was actually the first race of our season. We've had two more since, and those have not gone very well for me. I haven't finished either one of those races. So that should tell you how my season's going thus far. But this one was, I think, was worth posting. You see that I qualified ninth, my teammates in seventh, which is pretty good. We got 19 racers for this, so I was pretty excited with that. And I think if you've watched any of these videos, if you've heard me talk about it, you know that my biggest problem is starting. I either crash on start, make contact with someone, and ruin my race, or I, alternatively, sometimes am not, am just maybe too conservative and end up at the back of the pack through the first range. And I think this was a good balance. The started, what was it, ninth? I'm down to 11th, but importantly, I haven't made contact with anyone. I'm still complete. Okay, well, I spoke too soon and made contact with him, but it was pretty innocuous. Made contact with him as well. So as soon as I said that I hadn't made contact with anyone, I immediately made contact with two people. But I don't think I got any damage off of either of those, which I think was a positive in this situation. So going into the second season of this league, I feel like I'm in a decent spot where I improved a lot towards the end of last season. Just try to focus on being consistent and getting good results from sort of a war of attrition where I'm just consistent. I know that I'm not the fastest, but I was just trying very hard to stay consistent and not wreck and not have to pit, not have to waste 7 seconds in the pits getting a new wing because I messed up. So that's really was my focus towards the end of the first season of this league, and it's been my focus so far in the second season of the league. It hasn't necessarily worked that great so far. I really got myself into trouble in both of the second and third races where I did not finish, and I know what I did, and I'm trying to fix it and be better and not get into situations where I find myself ruining my race. So I'm doing what I can to get better, but it's easier said than done, especially when everything's moving very fast in a race. So we're still at that stage of the race here where everything's still pretty tight. I've got some room behind me, but these guys in front of me, I'm right on their tails. Got Solitary and we've got Hal. It looks like we've already had a DNF. So virtual safety car deployed, and I think I just skipped. I think I just skipped some of the virtual safety car there. Yeah. Okay. So we're now starting the third lap here. I'm in 12th place. We've had one guy DNF. I'm right behind Hal, who's behind Chris, who's behind. I didn't actually see who was in front of him, but basically, I I got I ran right into the back of him, and that's sort of a weird situation where the safety car was ending. I mean, obviously, I should have been more careful, I guess, but also the guy 3 cars in front of me stopped on the track. So I don't know. I think as a sort of a league administrator, that's a position where I have mixed feelings. I mean, from a driver's standpoint, from the fact that I rear-ended that guy, I was annoyed when it happened. I was not happy about it. From a league admin standpoint, you kind of think like, okay, well, whose responsibility is it there to? Is it the responsibility of the guy in back to make sure that he doesn't hit the guy in front? Is it the responsibility of the guy in front to not slam on his brakes? Whose responsibility is it there? So I think what we ended up doing there, I don't know that anybody got a penalty for it. I think that we just sort of went on with our lives and raced. But this lap was absolutely trash for me because my front wing is completely destroyed. I mean, I crunched into the guy in front of me. I'm lucky I didn't break the car beyond repair. You may be able to tell with my driving here, I just could not turn. Just absolutely could not turn to save my life. So I think I skipped the pit stop here. Yeah, I skipped the pit stop, but it was over 8 seconds because I had to get a new wing. And that's kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier. If you're having to get a new wing, you are going to waste so much time. It's not even funny. But I do come out of the pits here, P16. I skipped some time there just because I think we've got another safety car coming up, if I remember correctly here. Yeah, so you just saw it went from I was 16 of 18, now I'm 16 of 16. So we had two guys who I think got into some sort of contact there and both DNF'd. But so I didn't pit. I'm going to try to finish the race on these tires that I picked up when I pitted last time. So I didn't pit. So you see me go up to P12 after the safety car, which I think was a couple laps maybe. So I'm pretty happy with that, especially given the fact that I ran full on into the guy in front of me to get P12 after that. I'm pretty happy with, and watch this kind of closely. So Bode, we found out after the race he was apparently disqualified for ignoring a drive-through penalty, which is interesting. But basically, he didn't have any control, and the car just stopped for him on the track. So he is out of the race. There's another guy there. I don't know if that was I kind of missed it. Might have been Chris KYU that was off the track there. And so I'm now up to P10, and I'm in the points. And given that we've had one safety car, multiple virtual safety cars, and I made full contact with a guy and crushed my front wing, I would say that's a positive. I'm now up to P9. What did I miss there? I think, yeah, we might have had another guy DNF. I'm not sure. But I am up to P9, which I'm happy with. Pretty good position. Even more, another caution there. That is one thing I will say. So the first season of this league, we consistently were having maybe 12 to 16 drivers per race. And we're now pretty consistently getting 19 or 20 this season, which is awesome. I love that. But also, I'm seeing a lot more. We're having a lot more incidents, and I'm not saying that that's the fault of the drivers. I just think you got more drivers on the track, and more is happening. It doesn't necessarily reflect on the guys racing. But I did give a couple positions back there. I'm in P10. I really sort of had to compromise myself when I went after Nasty Nate's spot, and then didn't get it, and so sort of had to regroup and pull back, and wasn't in really a good position, and I got passed twice. So I'm now also out of DRS range. The good news here is that I do have a little bit of time on the guy behind me, so I feel like I'm in a decent. I like racing in free air. I really like that a lot. I think most people probably feel that way, but when I'm racing wheel to wheel with someone, I'm likely to not have as much success. So I skipped a virtual safety car there, just barely managed to not contact him. Had that return to correct position call from FIA, and ended up getting back to where I'm supposed to be, which is P9. We're on the 10th lap here, so I've got essentially 5 laps left to go to sort of make a run at this. And my teammate is already DNF'd, so unfortunately he's not going to get any points. So it's not going to be a double points finish for the Williams team. But hopefully we can at least get 1 point from P10, or a couple points would be nice. So I'm behind Ghost here. I seem to remember that he had some wing damage, I think, and you see him kind of driving erratically, not really being able to turn very well. I'm pretty sure that was a weak wing damage situation. And I basically, my thinking here is just wait for a good opportunity to pass him without causing problems, and don't hit him, especially because he's kind of lacking in control a little bit. I think he felt me there and sort of let me pass a little bit. So I got past him. We're up to P8. We're up to P8, which I love. I got 4 seconds to get to Kung Fu Panda. And the truth about my racing ability is that if these guys in front of me don't slip up, I'm probably not going to catch them. So my thinking here, behind me I've got Whizbang, who's got an 8-second penalty. So if I finish within 8 seconds of him, I've got the place on him. I have P8 locked up. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Behind him, we've got, Ghost pitted, so he's less of a factor now. But we got Juzzy behind him, and Juzzy is almost 2 seconds off the pace. So I'm hoping that he will maybe get caught up trying to get past Whizbang and not be able to get past me. So at this stage, I'm thinking I have a really good shot at P8. I really do. If I can keep it clean, and right now I have no damage. My tires are fine to last the rest of the race. So I'm feeling fine. I feel good about my situation here. I just need to drive consistently, stay out of trouble, and I should be looking at a P7. And I think we just passed someone else there. I don't know if someone was pitting or what. I kind of missed it. So I'm now looking at P7 if I can race clean. So that's my whole thinking here. Is just race clean, be smart. And that's what gave me a lot of success last year at the end of the year. And I'm hoping it gives me some success this year if I can stick to my guns. So I don't want to ruin it here, but I did get the opportunity at some point, I think. No, okay, maybe that's coming up. Anyway, I'm firmly in P7 here, which I feel like is good, especially given the makeup of this league. I mean, if you've watched my videos before, you know that you've heard me say it. I'm not the fastest racer, and I sort of have to rely on consistency. So that's my bread and butter, really. And in this case, I had to rely on my consistency a little bit, even though I wasn't that consistent earlier when I rear-ended a guy. Through the rest of the race, I think I've been pretty consistent and managed to be pretty smart. And I think I've been lucky because I think a lot of other guys have had damage, which means that I wasn't the only guy who had to pit and get a new wing or something. I think that happened to quite a few people. So I really benefited from everyone else's misfortune, frankly. But I'm probably not the 7th fastest racer in this league. So for me, an opportunity to get P7 here is something that I welcome with open arms, if that makes sense. Because this is the rare time when I feel like I'm performing above my position. And had the added benefit here, Nasty Nate is now racing directly with me. So he's less than 2.2 seconds ahead, less than 0.2 ahead. And Nasty Nate is a faster racer than I am, but I'm thinking maybe he had some damage. Maybe I've got more pace than him at the moment. So let's see what we can do. You see me kind of give a go at it going into this first turn, but I knew he was there, and I wouldn't be able to get past him. But then he sort of boxed me out on that turn, and I lost it. I think maybe he was more alongside me than I thought he was, or I don't know. Maybe he just came out of nowhere and got me. But my thinking was that he was probably more alongside me than I thought he was, and so he was more alongside me than I thought he was, and I didn't really give him enough room going into the turn. I don't know. I haven't actually seen his onboard of this, so it's hard to really say. I can only think about what my view was. So you see me checking my tires there. I'm P7. We've got essentially a lap and a half to go. It's really going to come down to the wire, I think, with Nasty Nate, especially because I feel like especially if he's got damage, I can get into DRS range if I'm smart. And if I take good lines here and stay within range. So he actually goes off the track right there, which I think got me a little bit of time as well. So I'm now within zero point 0.8 seconds. I feel like I've got a really good shot to catch him. And he does kind of, the way he's driving, I do wonder if he has a little bit of damage. Nothing serious, but enough to just sort of mess with him. So you look at this, I'm less than half a second back now. I feel like I've got a really nice shot here. I'm about to get DRS. He does not have DRS. He's got nobody in front of him, so he's not going to be able to do anything. So I wanted to make a go at it and ended up just hitting him in the back twice. I don't know. I don't really know what to say there. I just kind of hit him in the back. I'm not very impressed by my own racecraft there, but what are you going to do? So going in here to the middle section of the track, and you see, I think I've got a little bit of damage. I'm kind of feeling a little uncomfortable making certain turns. I do think I've got a little bit of damage. I can't remember specifically, but I'm still very, very close to Nasty Nate because I think he's got damage too. So it's just a matter of staying within a second to get to DRS and then capitalizing on any opportunities. And I've got the DRS right here. I do think maybe he's using lower traction control than I am, so he got a better jump out of the turn than I did. But I'm so close, I can just feel it, and I can feel my opportunity here, especially as he's weaving a little bit. Okay, so here you see me make a run at it. I know this is going to be my last chance probably. I went inside. He gave me the line, but I just overshot it a little bit, and that was pretty much my last chance to get him. I pretty much didn't really have an opportunity after that. So I sort of gambled a little bit there, and it did not pay off. I went ahead and let Whizbang through. He's got 11-second penalty now. I'm not going to fight him and get in a wreck with him for no reason at all. So I end up getting the 7th place back because he had the penalty. So a P7, I really like it. I'm really happy with that. If I can keep up with performances like that all season, I think I'll be fine. I did not in the next 2 races, but hopefully I can in later races. Either way, I'll be showing you guys some more races. So thanks for watching.